Congratulations, you just stumbled onto what might be the most straightforward guide ever made about picking your very first handgun. I say that because I am not going to bury you under endless charts, magazine reviews, or 12 hours of forum bickering. I am simply going to tell you what to get, why it makes sense, and how to avoid the biggest rookie mistakes. Most people who want a handgun for the first time are not looking to nerd out about metallurgy, internal ballistics, or esoteric brand debates. They just want a reliable tool for self-defense, something they can keep on the nightstand, carry under a shirt, or use in an emergency without hesitation. That is exactly what this guide delivers. Clear advice, a short list of smart options, and a blunt discussion of what matters most and what you can safely ignore. Let's cut the noise and dive in. The three pillars that should steer your decision are simple, brutal, and non-negotiable: purpose, ability, and reliability. Purpose means exactly what it sounds like. Why are you buying this gun? Is it a nightstand defender you want beside the bed, a concealed carry tool you'll have on your person during the day, or something that must perform both tasks without compromise? Different jobs demand different tools, and failing to match purpose to platform is the single most common beginner mistake. Ability is a marriage of physical capacity and skill. If your hands are weak or arthritic, heavy slide manipulation, stubby magazines, or a stiff manual safety will defeat you long before a round ever matters. If you are brand new to shooting, a heavy, awkward gun that punishes every shot will discourage range time and create flinch and bad habits. Being honest about your coordination, grip strength, and willingness to practice will save you from buying a gun that looks great in a rack and sucks in your hands. Reliability is the life insurance part of the purchase. You should treat a handgun for defense as a tool that must work when everything else fails. Cosmetics, bragging rights, and niche accessories come far behind the need for a gun that goes bang every time. This means leaning toward proven platforms, avoiding exotic calibers that have limited ammo availability, and accepting some simplicity in exchange for fewer failure points. Once you accept those core pillars, everything else becomes secondary. Price, external features, aftermarket parts, trigger cosmetics, sight options, and flashy finishes are tiebreakers for people who already shoot well. Capacity and ergonomics matter, but they must be evaluated through the lens of purpose, ability, and reliability. If you want clear guidance, use the triad as a checklist. Define the job, honestly assess whether you can operate the tool effectively, and choose a platform known to run with minimal fuss, and do it without drama or excuses. When you move past the big three pillars, the next fork in the road is caliber. Everyone loves to argue about it, but for beginners, the answer is straightforward. In autoloaders, the sweet spot is 9mm. It delivers a blend of low recoil, high capacity, affordable ammunition, and proven effectiveness. Nearly every serious law enforcement and military unit still running pistols in 2025 relies on 9mm service loads. That means vast availability, endless training options, and real-world credibility. Unless you have a burning need for exotic horsepower, the 9 is the only practical place to start. For revolvers, the winner is .357 Magnum. The beauty is versatility. Every .357 wheel gun can also fire .38 Special, a lighter, softer shooting round. That lets you train comfortably, then step up when ready. A .38 only revolver will usually be smaller and cheaper, but limits growth. The .357 gives you headroom without forcing commitment. Other calibers exist, but they are niche. A .380 Auto or .32 ACP might be manageable for the recoil-sensitive, yet they trade stopping power for comfort. The increasingly popular 5.7 by 28mm has promise, light recoil and high velocity, but ammo cost and availability still make it an experiment, not a baseline. Anything smaller than that, and you are in territory where a baseball bat, a German Shepherd, or a golf club may genuinely outperform the cartridge. So, let the internet scream about stopping power. For your first purchase, pick 9mm in a semi-auto or .357 Magnum in a revolver with .38 Special for practice. That keeps your training realistic, your ammo bills lower, and your defensive confidence grounded in decades of proof rather than message board fantasy. Revolvers often provoke strong opinions because they are both admirably simple and undeniably limited, and that paradox is directly responsible for their enduring appeal. For decades, wheel guns were standard issue for police departments because they were mechanically uncomplicated and remarkably reliable compared to early semi-automatic designs. Today's autoloaders have largely matched or exceeded that reliability, but the revolver still offers advantages that matter for certain shooters. A simple, robust mechanism with very few moving parts, low maintenance demands, and an operation model that is easy to teach and easy to understand under stress. There are clear trade-offs to accept. Capacity is the most obvious. Most defensive revolvers carry 5 or 6 rounds, while contemporary 9mm pistols commonly offer 10 to 20 rounds depending on configuration. That difference alone will be decisive for many people. Reloading a wheel gun is slower unless you invest time learning speed loader techniques, and small concealable revolvers tend to have snappy recoil that is exhausting to shoot in extended practice sessions. If you pick a tiny J-frame or similar small revolver for concealment, be honest with yourself about how often you will actually enjoy going to the range. A gun that punishes you is a gun you will not practice with, and that creates worse outcomes than an initially larger, more pleasant-to-shoot pistol. Revolvers do, however, solve real problems. If magazine changes, manual safeties, or slide manipulations are genuine barriers because of limited hand strength, poor coordination, or plain dislike, a wheel gun strips those failure points away. Double-action triggers provide a long, heavy first pull that functions as an effective safety without forcing you to remember an external lever. For a shooter that values simplicity and predictability, a revolver will usually run with fewer hiccups and can be easier to maintain over decades. That reliability is not theoretical. It is a practical advantage when the goal is a defensive tool that will work with minimum fuss.
Manufacturer and model choice matter. A properly built Smith & Wesson or Ruger revolver will typically be an heirloom-quality tool that tolerates hard use and time. Models like the GP100 and the 686 class 6-shooters give you medium frame weight that helps tame recoil, making them solid bedside or range options. The Model 60 has long been a compact stainless choice with a proven track record, while the SP101 and the Ruger LCR series represent modern engineering in smaller packages for concealment. Budget brands such as Taurus or Rock Island can be serviceable entry points, but expect compromises in fit, trigger feel, and long-term durability. A practical advantage worth emphasizing is ammunition flexibility. Buying a .35 Magnum revolver allows you to shoot .38 Special for practice, easing your way into heavier defensive loads when you are ready. That growth path keeps training costs lower while preserving the option to step up to full-power defensive rounds without buying a new firearm. Conversely, a dedicated .38 Special revolver can be smaller and easier to carry, but will limit your ability to increase power later. Finally, never underestimate the human factor. Revolvers lower mechanical complexity but do not eliminate human error. Managing the hammer, lowering a cocked hammer carefully if applicable, maintaining muzzle discipline, and practicing with the exact loads you intend to carry are all essential habits. Learn the quirks of your chosen model, practice reloading and shooting under realistic conditions, and choose a revolver you will actually want to shoot. A well-chosen revolver can be a responsible, practical, and surprisingly modern choice for a first defensive handgun if the trade-offs align with your needs. Take the time to handle options at a shop, feel the weight, and imagine how you will carry and shoot it. If revolvers are the uncomplicated tool, autoloaders are the versatile tool box. They demand a little more learning but return greater flexibility in capacity, ergonomics, and ongoing performance. The trade-offs show up in manual operations. Loading a magazine, seating it correctly, racking the slide to chamber a round, and understanding decockers or safeties are all steps that take practice and a modest amount of hand strength. For many shooters, that is worth the investment. Put in the time and you gain smoother follow-up shots, better recoil management, and a broader set of carry options that can match your daily routine. Autoloaders generally fall into two camps that matter to beginners: striker-fired pistols and hammer-fired double-action single-action pistols. Striker-fired pistols offer simplicity and consistent trigger pulls, a uniform interface that lowers cognitive load while you learn. They tend to have fewer manual controls and predictable trigger characteristics, which helps new shooters build confidence quickly. That lighter, consistent pull can make the gun feel intuitive, but it also means some models omit a manual safety, and that difference is worth understanding before you commit. Hammer-fired DASA pistols give you a different set of trade-offs. The long, heavy double-action pull acts as an integrated safety, and cocking the hammer converts the trigger into a lighter single-action press for precise shots. Many DASA designs include safe, user-friendly decockers that allow you to lower the hammer without discharging the firearm. For a beginner who wants a built-in mechanical buffer for the first shot, but still desires single-action precision when needed, DASA geometry offers adaptability and control without relying solely on an external lever.
Capacity is not just a spec, it is real-world margin. Higher capacity autoloaders reduce the immediate need to reload and give you more rounds per magazine for practice. That said, civilians rarely perform extended reloads in defensive encounters, but more capacity still buys you time and flexibility under stress. Size and concealability are the trade-offs. Full-size duty pistols offer capacity and recoil control, while compact and single-stack designs prioritize discreet carry. Choose based on how you actually dress, move, and intend to carry, not theoretical idealizations. Maintenance for autoloaders is modest but non-negotiable. Semi-automatics have springs, extractors, magazines, and slides that benefit from routine cleaning, light lubrication, and inspection. Neglect raises the risk of stovepipes, failure to feed issues, and other stoppages that are entirely avoidable with basic care. For most owners, maintenance becomes part of training. Clean, inspect, and run drills on a schedule, so function checks are as habitual as holster practice. When choosing between striker and hammer-fired platforms, think about your training plan and hand strength. If you intend to practice heavily and want a forgiving, simple interface, a striker-fired polymer pistol is a strong baseline. If you value a mechanical safety buffer and want the option to manage your confidence via carry method or a decocker, a hammer-fired DA-SA pistol from a reputable manufacturer offers long-term adaptability. Either approach can be excellent if you select a proven platform, avoid exotic or unsupported models, and commit to training. Handling examples crystallize choices. Picture a compact polymer striker in 9mm that fits your hand, has a clean trigger, and a short reset. That model rewards you with faster follow-up shots and gentle perceived recoil. Now picture a medium-frame DA-SA with a metal slide and a decocker. It will be heavier, offer different balance, and provide a first-shot safety buffer some buyers prefer, both in person. Pay attention to magazines and accessories. Good magazines age, springs sag, and cheap parts can introduce reliability problems. Favor factory or well-reviewed magazines and practice with the exact magazines and loads you plan to carry. Sights matter too. Tall, contrasting sights or optics-ready slides can improve real-world accuracy and target acquisition. Brand reputation and aftermarket support are advantages. A well-supported platform makes replacement parts, holsters, and training easier to obtain. In short, autoloaders require a modest upfront investment in time and care, but return greater capability, softer felt recoil for many shooters, and more choices for daily carry. Pick a sensible caliber, choose a reputable platform that fits your hand, and then train and maintain it. Competence comes from repetition, not gear.
There's no single perfect handgun for everyone, and pretending there is the sort of arrogance that fills internet comment sections. What you can do, however, is follow a simple, practical roadmap that narrows the noise and keeps you out of trouble. Start with the 3 pillars. Define the job you expect the gun to do, honestly evaluate your physical ability and willingness to train, and pick a platform known for reliability. Those 3 decisions will eliminate 80% of bad choices before you ever leave the store. If you want a bedside guardian, or a tool that is straightforward to operate without fuss, a medium-frame revolver in .357, with the option to shoot .38 special, remains an excellent and defensible choice. If you want capacity, softer felt recoil, and a path to a wide range of aftermarket support, a 9mm autoloader on a proven hammer-fired or striker platform is the practical way forward. Avoid exotic calibers or boutique models for your first purchase. They're hobbies, not primary defensive tools. Choose reputable manufacturers, pick a model that fits your hand, and buy the magazines and holster you will actually use. Practice with the exact ammunition and magazines you plan to carry, and make maintenance part of your routine. Train deliberately. Start with fundamentals, build consistent draw, reload, and malfunction drills, and then add realistic stress drills only after fundamentals are solid. Confidence is earned at the range, not bought at the counter. This guide is one straightforward path among many. It is blunt because the stakes are real. The point is not to impress other shooters. It is to equip yourself responsibly and competently. Be safe, be honest with yourself, and treat the choice with the seriousness it deserves.